We turn now to our CBS Elections and Surveys Director, Anthony Salvanto, who has some new findings in advance of President Biden's 100-day mark and address to a joint session of Congress. He joins us from Westchester County, New York. Good morning, Anthony.
Morning, John. Good to talk to you.
It's good to be back with you. Before we get to President Biden, you asked some questions in the wake of the Derek Chauvin verdict. What did you find?
Yeah, big majorities, John. 75% feel that the jury in the case reached the right verdict based on what they themselves heard. Now, I should point out that is true for big majorities of both white and black Americans. And we look at that bipartisanship, like so many things today, we find a little bit of difference. There are majorities, big ones, of Dems, of independents who think it was the right verdict, majority of Republicans too, though a sizable portion of Republicans feeling like it was the wrong one. But again, on balance, big majorities feeling like the jury reached the right verdict, John.
All right, let's pivot now and talk about the presidency and the president. Anthony, 100 days is coming up. The president's going to speak to Congress. Where does President Biden's approval rating stand at this moment?
So he is at 58%. Now, for context, we go back 20 years. That's about where George W. Bush was in his first 100 days. It's lower than where President Obama was during the economic crisis as he took over, and it's higher than where Donald Trump was. For context, you want to really note that back 10, 20 years ago, there was actually a little more partisan crossover, at least initially for presidents, where partisans from the opposing party would give them a little bit of breathing room, a little bit better ratings, at least initially. But that really started to change during the Obama administration, and Donald Trump almost never got any Democratic support. And that's where we find Joe Biden right now, where this is built primarily on getting a lot of Democrats and also independents, John.
Right. We used to have actual honeymoons with the presidency. Now people basically approve or disapprove based on what team jersey the president wears. Having said that, 58%, not a bad number because of those independents that you mentioned. So why is President Biden getting relatively good approval ratings and good approval ratings from independents, Anthony?
So, John, a big part of this is 2/3 of Americans think that Joe Biden is doing a good job handling the coronavirus outbreak. And even more specifically, a lot of people feel like he's doing a good job on vaccine distribution. This is really important because his administration had set out success for that as a marker in the first 100 days, and he's meeting it. It's kind of classic transactional politics. Set out a goal, people feel like you've achieved it. On the personal front, majorities describe Joe Biden right now as presidential, as competent, as focused, all things people want from a leader in a crisis. This is something that's in your wheelhouse, as you've written about. These are all things that are also accruing to those overall approval numbers, John.
So, Anthony, that's how he's doing on the promises he made in the campaign. What about the ground he wants to plow going forward? What does the immediate future look like?
Yeah, well, one of those promises, John, was to be bipartisan. Now, people do think on balance he's trying to work with congressional Republicans, but of course there are some hurdles there. One is that the rank and file Republicans in the country still will not say that Joe Biden is the legitimate winner of the 2020 election. That puts pressure, of course, on the Republican delegation there. And though on policy matters, he's got some popular policies, notably as he heads into this speech talking about infrastructure. In principle, when you ask people if we should spend more on things like roads and bridges, you get big majority support. On the politics side, you attach Joe Biden's name to it, his infrastructure plan, and it still gets majority support at 58% right now. So if you do popular things, your numbers can at least be decent. And that's where he is heading into the speech this week, John.
Popular in principle. We'll see if the politics get in the way. Thanks so much.